Alright guys, so this is another Patreon request, and as always, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where you guys can hit the 4th tier, and you guys can start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But other than that, let's get started with this Patreon request that comes from my good friend Jason Voorhees 2011, who asked me to do a pretty fun idea for a Patreon request. Basically, it's everyone versus Michael Myers, and I do stress everyone. So this takes place between Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. This literally takes place after the day after Halloween Kills. It's November 1st, and Haddonfield is in the carnage of the previous night, and Michael is nowhere to be found. Well, as it was stated in the book, yeah, you don't just kill like nearly half a town and drive it into a frenzy for nothing. Like, you don't just do that and go away. So it actually, like, Jason told me he got the idea from the book of Halloween Kills, where there was a massive nationwide manhunt for Michael Myers for like months before they had to call it off. So this is where that idea comes from. So in this story, what happens is that Michael has... I said Jason a few times, didn't I? I'm sorry. But yeah, Michael has escaped into the night, and day 1 of November 1st is like, we are going to look high and low for Michael Myers. And among those agencies is the Global Justice Network. So yeah, the Global Justice Network is like, yeah, Michael Myers is now public enemy #1. For all, like, the Global Justice Network is like talking to the FBI, the CIA, all these other groups, and they are like, it's now like public enemy. Michael Myers is public enemy #1, and among that is that Lori is actually hunting Michael. Like, she's going after Michael. She doesn't have time to grieve because, yeah, her daughter just got killed, and Allison is now without a mother and now without officially a family. So Lori is going on one last hunt for Michael, but she realizes she can't do it alone. Like, she literally cannot do it alone. Hawkins, or whatever the fuck the sheriff's name was, he's too injured to go with her, so she goes out and looks for help. And she actually contacts a old friend of hers, someone she kept in touch with during the time between during the years before Halloween 2018. And and that person is Tommy Jarvis. So yeah, she contacts Tommy Jarvis, who is also a survivor of a certain mass slasher, and they get in touch with another person, Sidney Prescott, the survivor of the Ghostface killings. Yeah. So in this universe, it is kind of like the Infinityverse in that horror movies were made as based off of true stories, kind of films. So the 4 of them have gotten to... so the 3 of them get together to hunt down and kill Michael, and she's like, I should have gotten in touch with you two from the beginning, but we're going to put an end to this. So the 3 of them are on their own little adventure to hunt down Michael. Meanwhile, the APB that was put out for Michael has essentially gone out to other people. Like, through the grapevine, Dr. Director knows that, like, yeah, Michael's, even if we do catch him, there's a chance he may still kill us all. You know, Michael is way too dangerous to be kept alive. He is way too of a dangerous opponent for us to challenge him. So what I'm gonna do is go contact, I'm gonna contact some certain people to deal with him. And who she makes a call she makes a call to all the way to Roanoke, where she gets in touch with Dutch, and she says, you guys realize how much you are wanted? You know, if you stepped out of Roanoke, you'd all be arrested. Well, listen, the GJN is willing to overlook those charges if you hunt down, if you and the Lagoon Company take care of someone for us. And he's like, yeah, who would that be? And she goes, Michael Myers. And he is like, oh, you're serious? Oh dear, no, but listen, we ain't that dumb. The Lagoon Company ain't that dumb to go after the boogeyman, but I might know some people who do. So Dutch redirects GJN to Valmet, Sawyer, and Chenois. And those three were dumb enough to take the contract. Not only that, but other people, like, now that Michael is out and about, heroes are now getting involved. Like, after the news has spread about the massacre in Haddonfield, the Halloween massacre of Haddonfield, other heroes are getting involved to hunt him down. Like, Danny is watching watching a newscast, and he's just like, I gotta do something. So Danny Phantom has now stepped in to go hunt down the boogeyman. So and not to mention, you have the Gargoyles who got a PB from, New York is like, yeah, New York is so far away from Haddonfield, but we thought the same about Jason never coming to Manhattan, and guess what happened in 1989? Jason came to Manhattan. So, everyone's on, this is an all hands on deck kind of situation. And of course, the news has reached the Gargoyles too. Like, Hudson's just chilling in his chair, and he's like, huh, okay. They're all like, yeah, this is evil. This is unbridled evil. So now you have all these elements and all these people all hunting down Michael. And where is Michael? He has just been walking. He has just been walking across the state, killing whoever gets in his way. He is just kind of looking for something. He may have suffered some injuries, but he's not, like, showing it. He's not, like, showing all these wounds and injuries he was subjected to during his time, during the massacre. He was unaffected by all of it. So what happens is that the first person to come across Michael is, in fact, some GJN agents who Michael easily just fucking wrecks. He just annihilates them. Then, as he's going further and further, what happens is the next person to try to stop him is Danny. And Danny's like, look, dude, you are an old man with a knife. You may be scary and you have killed humans, but I am not, I am not the guy you want to fuck with, I don't feel bad. I feel bad taking on a senior citizen, but I'll make an exception for you. And Michael just is like, so he goes to try to stab Danny, and the knife phases through him. And then while he's still intangible, he just punches Michael into some trees, and he's just like, Michael, you have no idea what you have gotten yourself into. You come quietly, or I make this really hurt. But Michael just keeps coming after. Michael just doesn't bother. He just gets up, and he just doesn't look like he's hurt or anything. And Michael just picks up the knife again. He's swiping at Danny, and Danny keeps going intangible. But the trick is, Michael's moving so fast that he has to remember to go intangible every time, and Michael's movements are so fast. He then eventually catches the knife, breaks Michael's hand, and punches him with just an ecto-charged fist. But however, Michael just grabs a huge tree and just whacks him over the face with it, and just starts pounding on Danny over and over again until he's unconscious. Before Michael can kill him, the Gargoyles have shown up because they've joined the hunt, and now Michael has to fight his way through the Gargoyles. He barely gets out of that, and it isn't before long that Sawyer, Rotten, I almost said Valmet, sorry, I meant to say Rotten, Sawyer, Lawton, and Chenois have arrived, but unfortunately they think the Gargoyles and Danny are also bounty hunters or freaks or something, so it just turns into a three-way all-out fight, just a all-out brawl between everybody, and Michael just escapes into the darkness. But it's at this time when Laurie, who's been hunting Michael alongside Tommy and Sydney. The three of them have arrived, and they find Michael in an old abandoned house that was apparently owned by the Myers house decades ago. It was like a summer home. It was like an ancestral home. It belonged to Michael's grandparents. It's the original Myers house. And what happens there is that Michael's just resting there, and the three of them break in, and they just fight Michael. Michael has been through a lot already, but he doesn't care. He just proceeds to go after everybody in this battle. So eventually, it's just down to Sydney and Tommy get both wounded in the fight, and then it's just Laurie and Michael having a fight. And by this point, Michael just trounces Laurie. He just beats the shit out of Laurie the entire fight. And by the end of it, Laurie realizes, I can't kill him. I can never stop him. And I unleashed this evil on everybody. And I've now, I've badgered this monster to the point where I've caused an entire town, and now several more people to be hurt and killed along the way. So by the end of it, Laurie just runs because she's bleeding out. Her friends are wounded. And she also makes that realization, oh shit, if I die too, then that means Allison will be all by herself. That she makes that realization that, oh shit, Allison will be by herself and there'll be no one left. So she just runs and flees, and it's and as she's driving away and leaving Michael's now all beaten up now. He's suffered all those injuries. Laurie makes that decision. I have to put him behind me. As she's looking past the rear view mirror of the original ancestral Myers home, she's like, I'm putting Michael in the rear view mirror behind me, and just start a new life because I can't stop him. I can't stop that evil. So there you go. That also is a perfect explanation as to why Laurie, instead of promising to hunt Michael down, she instead is I'm just putting Michael to bed and no longer going after him. So that makes more sense, right? Rather than, oh, Michael, I just decided I'm going to bake pies and write an autobiography for no fucking reason after my daughter was murdered. So there you go, guys. That is Target Michael Myers, I guess I'll call it. I want to thank Jason Voorhees 2011 for this one. Jason, thanks again. And as always, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to Patreon. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.